All right, hopping into the game. We got a TvZ. Still no ZVZ. Oh, there's not going to be a ZVZ finals. Oh, like no matter what happens, it won't be a ZVZ finals.
I know, it's the bestest.
All right, silliness aside, it is game number 1 here in the semifinals for the Matcherino weekly number 1. Weekly Reno, Matcherino, whatever you want to call it. Do make sure to check out the Matcherino page, guys. If you're watching this live with us on Twitch, type !Matcherino in chat. I think most of the promo codes for the second set have been used up as well at this point. Awkward. But I got to give some love to Mon3 Course. He did donate $10 more to the prize pool. Again, reminding everybody that whether it's $1, $4, $5, $10, etc., it goes all to the players. Matcherino takes no cut. We take no cut. It is strictly a prize pool raised as high as possible for the players competing today. And it's already... I just want to point out, like, we're already super happy because a normal tournament for us is $100 in prizing. This is almost 3 times that already. So
Yeah,
awesome.
That's pretty sick.
But anyways, spawning here on the bottom left side of Dusk Towers, he was our finalist. Came second place to Revolver just recently in the Corsair Cup. A damn good Zerg player from Poland. It is Guru.
In the top right, as the yellow Terran, he is Botvinnik, our last Terran.
Yes, and I believe playing from Spain, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, I think that is correct. So, Guru did end up 2-0ing Revolver, so that rematch actually makes sense, because you remember Guru was up 2-0 against Revolver, and then he brought it back. So, but only it was a best of 5. Revolver might be here now. And Botvinnik, I forget who Botvinnik took down. Solo. Yeah, 2-1. Botvinnik has been playing some really great TVP, so if he does get into the finals, Guaranteed versus the Protoss, I will give him a little bit extra credits for that. But his ZVT is not as impressive. Like, it's decent. He's a decent player overall, but it's just not as impressive. So, I don't know. Guru, I might give Guru this little bit of an edge in this match.
Yeah, sorry, doing a great job contributing, trying to get a tweet out about this. There we go. Linked it in chat if you guys could do me a favor and hit that retweet button. A retweet's just as good as a donation in terms of just spreading the word, spreading the love, and letting people know what's going on with this tournament. So even if you don't have any followers and friends, guys, it makes me feel better too. So hit that retweet button.
They're there. So Reaper gets in here and Scout's actually going to die. Fortunately, that second queen. A couple of Lings are being a bother, but luckily it was favorable for the Terran spawn positions to have the reactor on the wall. For once.
Yeah, they actually were discussing this on that late game episode with Athenius and all them about, you know, what if Terrans could control which side this goes on? Mm-hmm. And there are some situations where honestly the game isn't decided by it, but the on tilt factor certainly is. You're like, God damn, why do I have to be on this spawn location? You know, why do I have to put this on this side? Like for example, the reactor is the much more valuable and easier to kill target. You wish you could leave the factory here and put it on the left side instead, but you can't. It's just the way StarCraft is. I don't think Blizzard would change it, because it hasn't ever been a situation where, wow, the game's broken because of it. But it would be a quality of life thing. Like, absolutely.
I actually think there might be one obnoxious thing about it, and that's that you would have to actually take the time to choose. Where now you just slap it down, you can tab on things that don't have reactors and tabs, or tech labs, and you'd actually have to pay attention. I mean, it's seconds, but it's important seconds sometimes.
Oh, by the way, we got some more donations coming in. Flotch donates $5, and Lord Asium throws in another 9. So we're up to an even $300. $300.69.
Yeah.
Who donated the cents like that? Lord Asium did. $90.03. God damn it, Lord Asium. I love you.
Well, these Hellions do an okay job, you know. They were kind of sacrificial anyways. They weren't really going to help out further. So killing 9 workers for 4 Hellions, not so bad. Forces Guru to just, you know, pump out the rest so he can kind of be over and done with it. He's got a Lair on the way, but he also went for Roachhorn, so I'm not sure this is going to be for Spire. So Spire, well, eventually this is going to clean up, no problem, but if not, then it's going to potentially be able to find that perfect point we were talking about. Well, there's a perfect location that it just can't be hit.
This isn't too bad. Get some decent shots off. Push back some of the mining. The funny thing is, though, when you do have a Liberator setup like this, you actually don't have to pull off mining entirely. You can just take away from the 2 packages.
Yeah. This was not that perfect location. Oh, look, it's a queen, though, anyways.
Yeah, not bad. Lings were hoping that depots would be down to their third base would be on location. Unfortunately for Guru, that's not the case. Botvinnik playing a little bit safe. Again, a little bit of credit to Botvinnik, too. I have the Terran bias. It's strong. We all know this, guys. Okay? Get over it for one moment, though, and take a moment to respect. This guy was looking so fantastic when we played him last time. But more to the point, fantastic versus Protoss. So if he can overcome Guru in a very, and this will be a tough TvZ to fight, Guru's a good player, it's worth noting that he would have a pretty good shot in the finals against either of the Protoss other finalists.
Yep. I gave him an edge for the finals, but I gave Guru an edge for the semifinals, I guess. This match right here.
Yeah.
So it's not the Botvinnik, but he did just 2-1 solo, so it's not like it's in totally bad form as EVT. He's got double drops headed to the main, and you know what? Guru is not really prepared for this. There are no banelings, there's not any roaches. He's making a couple now. Spawning. He was trying to go into a Spire, but that's not going to help. Even if it does finish and Mutas come out, the Marines are already unloaded.
Well, stutters around, picks off some more of these drones, but not too many drones going down. However, with all the army going down, and the Queen's getting focused next. Oh my god, this is really getting out of hand. The roaches spawning 1 or 2 at a time means the Marines can actually fight them. They need to clump up, and they need a lot of them. He's going to try to focus the Spire. That's wishful thinking.
Yeah, he would have been able to get it, but the sacrifice, well, almost able to get it. I'm actually not sure he could have, only with 8 Marines left. But it would have sacrificed everything, so just taking at least 1 drop away from this. Now, he knows Mutas are going to be out, so he's got to be careful actually continuing to drop. But he's got to get missile turrets up. His macro behind this was pretty good. So he's, got combat shields finishing up with 1-1. His push is ready to go. He's got medevacs on the way too. We didn't lose the medevacs, importantly, as well. So those are just going to team up with everything else. And this is actually a really good push. Guru is going to have not useless mutas, but mutas that can't really help out here.
Right, and it's worth noting if Botvinnik had just sacrificed those drops to do anything, this would have been a smaller, like a significantly smaller push. Now the tank's not ready to go, but he needs both of these to really push back those roaches.
I wonder if he did. That was actually not a lot of roaches. And he has 1-1. Guru has nothing.
Oh, wow, I didn't realize 1-1 was finished up. If Botvinnik wants to fly forward with the tanks, I really think he can take an engagement. The problem is he doesn't realize this, and his goal for this push was to just clean up some creep. That's not a bad move. That's how you should play versus Zerg, but this split to go back home and start dropping and harass, I don't think this is the right move. There was a definitely, maybe not a kill move, but a good army fight to take.
I agree, yeah. But he does, and he unsieged at least one of these tanks in the process, so it's going to die. It's just too slow. The one is picked up.
He's really scared. Wow.
Yeah, well, the good news is that if he takes a defensive fight, I think Guru is the one that's going to make a mistake here by attacking. Yeah, he also pulls back, and since he went across the map, he's not quite prepared for this drop, but it goes on top of a Spore Crawler. That already helps. 2 roaches were left there, so I think it was just reinforcements that he barely caught. It's actually a very unsuccessful drop. Oh dear.
Yeah, this drop is the opposite of successful, I would agree. But this has also given Guru the time to get his supply up, but most importantly, the time to actually morph in Ravagers. I think one of the key things with Botvinnik's timing was he was going to hit before the Ravagers were ready to fight. Now that there's going to be Corrosive Bios, that'll force the tanks to be picked up, that'll force the extra threat out of Terran. And Botvinnik is really not in as good of a spot as he was before. I still like his position, but it's definitely not what he had, say, about a minute ago.
Yeah, now he's given a lot of room for the mutas to work out. I mean, really, if they're used defensively for an army fight, and they're only in the counts of 6 or 7, they're not going to be used for very much. But now, he got a few more, so he's up to 12. That's a decent amount to snipe, medevacs or tanks or reactors. Okay, 11 now. Yeah. And they just have a lot of more room to actually do what their job is, which is to harass and maybe pull a couple of armies back and make them hesitate. So Guru's got a lot of time. He's got a lot of a bank. I'm surprised he's not going up the infestation pit right now with that.
Thank you, by the way, Crank, for the host. Just host us to his viewers. So hello, all of Crank's fans.
Hi.
You guys, of course, are tuning in for the semifinals, the first of 2 semifinals for the Matcherino Weekly Cup. So you're just in time to settle in and watch some good StarCraft. There are Protoss on the other side of the bracket, guaranteed PvP over there with Gung Fu Banda versus Mana after this series concludes.
Yeah. That prize pool is so impressive. I mean, Terminator 101 with that $101 donation.
Oh, shit.
Pretty sick.
I did not realize he had upped his ante. He just threw in $60 during the course of this game. Botvinnik gets that medevac picked up. Very unfortunate. Rames also throws in another $10, not to be disregarded. That brings it up to $370 for this cup today. That's so sick.
Very nice.
Of course, let's not forget, all of the players at this point are making money. Anyone we cast from here to the end of the tournament, bare minimum they can walk away is 10% of that prize pool.
And the other semifinal, by the way, will be Mana versus Gung Fu, 2-0 night end.
Yes. Mentioned that just a moment ago. The tank drop, though, is ready to go, and the Banelings aren't. So this is a good timing for Botvinnik to get in here. Can he take advantage of this, though? Oh, look at those Banelings on the front lines. He's killing Overlords. He needs to kill the Banelings.
Well, either way, the tanks were shelling away at those Banelings. Only a couple of them ended up finishing. Alex Guru did get past the wall on the opposite side, but this is a much bigger army.
Right, this is a death push. Guru at most is harassing, being annoying, but the Marines are split in a very awkward way. It will mean that the Banelings can't possibly connect everything, but the focus fire of the Banelings was fantastic. Not a single Baneling connects. Mutalists go down, and Guru has lost his 4th. It doesn't even matter about that 5th. The army can't contest this. There's nothing on the field. Back at home, just lifts the 3rd. Who cares? Hold up at the main.
Yeah. I mean, Guru's 4 Banelings or whatever did get some pretty decent hits, but it was never going to make up for this. GG.
Botvinnik!
Whoop, whoop.
The Mayan Sanity Foreign Hope takes game number 1. Of course, everybody's for Foreign Hope now. There's no Koreans to contest against. $3 donation comes in from Twist Yours. Says, beers for the players. Now, first off, I wish I knew beers that would cost $1. That you could buy beers, plural, for $3 for players. But if you do want to donate anything to the players, guys, we recommend going through the Matcherino website. Please check it out, as that's where you can donate directly to the players.
We got another $10 from Neo X007.
You know what? Let's while we get this lobby up, we'll just go over. We'll show you guys off. Look at this. You got 3,000 people tuning in right now. Here's your names, bright and shiny, showing the generosity of you wonderful bastards making this possible. Top 5, of course, Terminator, rocking it 101. Cruella DeVille, that's what we'll call him from now on. Solid Sub, Raves, Monthly Core, Lord Asium, and of course all the people donating $5 here and there, 50 cents through the promo codes. You guys all help make the prize pool what it is, because again, I really want to drive this home. 100% of this money is going to the players. We don't even take 1%. 10% to 3rd and 4th place each, 20% to 2nd place, and 60% to the winner of the tournament. This is worth more than most tournaments I've seen in a long time. This is fantastic.
Yeah, this is pretty good. I do the players in. Ready?
Smelly Pickles letting me know there's an AMA on Reddit for Stardew Valley. If I could ask one question, it'd be like, why did you make Penny such an unfaithful bitch? God damn, I put my heart and soul into trying to woo that woman, man.
Didn't you kind of like also woo other women at the same time?
There's more to that. Ruins of Ceres. We'll see you guys in a sec. All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I gotta tell you, well, I don't think every single weekly is gonna necessarily raise like $400 per cup. I'm very excited to see the prospect of this working, and more weekly content, more StarCraft 2 content is never a bad thing, and I'm really glad to see that we're knocking it out of the park for Matcherino. But of course, the biggest thing for them, and I really want to drive this home, it's not that you donate money. Again, they don't make any money off of your transactions today. They don't make a single cent off of anything that goes through their website today through this tournament. However, they do get you to check them out. There's that legitimacy added to the fact that, hey, these guys are cool. We've been working with them for months at this point. We've raised easily over $3,000 through Matcherino in the past over all of our show matches and whatnot. They're good people, and I do implore you guys to check out the website because it's a cool concept. I really like the idea. The crowdfunding made public for tournaments, for show matches, for whatever. So again, Matcherino.com, sponsors of today. But spawning on the top right side of Ruins of Ceres, he is down 1 point here in this first semifinals match. Playing for True Esports is going to be the green Zerg player, Guru.
In the top left, as the yellow Terran, he is Botvinnik.
Botvinnik. Thank you, Emperor M, by the way, for the 2-month resub. And we just hit $400. Ooh. Thank you, Captain Brocard. He says we riff can do it. As he throws in $25 to make the prize pool $406 total at this point.
Very nice.
Darkest Light also subs for 2 months while this goes on, so thank you, sir. And I am curious what prize pool payouts are going to be at this point. Where's my good old calculator app? Because I'm not doing percentages. Are you kidding me? All right, so let's assume it's $400. Let's assume no other money gets made today, and that's unfortunate. 400 times 0.6, 240 for first place. That's good. 80 for second. That's like winning a weekly for most others.
Yeah.
And of course, $40 for anybody who loses at this point. That's the least anyone can walk away with is $40 today. Again, about as much, considering $60 is the first place prize of a Corsair Cup. Just in contrast, losing in 4th place gets you as much almost for winning a Corsair Cup.
Yeah. And Athanias with the dank memes donates $18 to bump it up even more.
One for each year of his life, I guess. Just kidding. Hey, I love you. I love you, Nathanias. That $18 donation is awesome. That brings it up to $4. Oh, I see what he was trying to do. Someone ruined it for him. But $424 now for the prize pool.
Ruined.
Ruined of Saras.
Well,
but that's awesome. Glad to see Nathanias throwing in some of that love. I hope you're having a great weekend, man. And man, Guru is not really in danger of anything. I thought he was gonna kill that Reaper. That stupid tree got it stuck. I didn't even know there was collision with that, by the way. TIL. Maybe it's good that this other one's broken.
This one, I'm not even sure this one's actually connected to the ground.
No, this isn't connected to the ground at all. That's what I've been talking about for like the months we've been casting it. This
no,
tree
not
is
that
broken.
one. I know about that one. I think the other one.
Oh, where you got stuck?
Yeah, it is connected to the ground.
It is.
It just looks weird.
Gotta do a camera swivel. Alright, so the Reaper does live in a couple Hellions outside the front base.
Wait a minute. It just disappeared. He got killed by the creep. No, tree.
Oh my god, you're right. Where did it go? We were just looking at it. What the magical fuck?
Wait, so is there no collision there now?
I have no
That's
idea.
some bullshit.
I've got no idea, to be honest. Alright, so 4 Hellions and a Reaper, that's a lot of pressure in the front. We're going to have Liberator wrap around the backside, but while this goes on, a couple Lings did manage to sneak across the map and catch Botvinnik a little off guard. So he's going to come home with the Hellions and the Reaper to clean this up. 2 Hellions at home also should be okay. Actually, he can't lose this one. He needs 6.
Yeah. Well, he did lose it, so eventually it's going to be cleaned up, but he had to bring the entire army back. He's going to catch a few more Lings, though. It's actually a nice surprise. Don't know what Guru was trying to do there. Saw the Liberator finally, but a Liberator follow-up is pretty common, so I think he should have been guessing that anyway. And we do have Roaches being made, but no Spore Crawlers, and they still have to turn into Ravagers. But they're going to scare away the Hellions, so job well done.
The Liberator could just siege up, though, and I'm not sure why it doesn't. It would...
Well, yeah, either siege up and take the Roaches while they follow, or go around and do your harassment job, but...
Do your job. Do your job, pro Liberators.
Oh, shit. Oh, snap.
I mean, it is 12:20, so it's a little after noon. You could call it noonish or noony.
Ha. Ha. I had no idea where we were going with that, but... Way to go, man. Way to go.
It's not even like shots fired. It's just dumb references.
It's not. Yeah.
Bad jokes, dumb references. Welcome to BaseTradeTV.
Third CC is on the way. I mean, it sucks that Botvinnik wasn't able to do really any damage. Though the Hellions in the last game, they were sacrificed, but they still got 8 drone kills. Here, they're really quite useless. He could wait, keep him alive, use him as Hellbats with the next push, but he sees Roaches, and unless he gets another confirmation on what the lair tech is going to be, he could assume that it's going to be Roach Ravager, which would be fine. Like, both would be fine, especially in these positions, which can... it's still like far enough because Ruins is a big map to play Muto Bling Bling, but it's also closer than any other spawn position that you can play a more aggressive Roach Ravager style. It's all up to Guru. Don't let his dreams be dreams.
I really hate that that's a thing. Like, there's no reason for me to hate it. I just don't love that became such a big meme.
Well, you can't control memes, so...
Well, it's actually a great piece of inspiration, but no one's ever going to look at it that way. Like if Lawrence... No, not even. Let's go Morgan Freeman, okay? If Morgan Freeman had told you, like, 7 years ago in a movie or something, like, don't let your dreams be dreams, right? You'd be like, oh, that was so inspirational. It's Morgan Freeman, voice of God, right? Like, great. But the fact that it was stupid Shia LaWoof.
It's not even Shia LaWoof. It's not even that much of an inspirational quote, you know? It's not like, wow, I've never thought about it that way before.
No, it's like something off of a cat poster.
Yeah,
like, hang
so
in there.
I would not, like, no matter who said it, I wouldn't be like, I have been changed. This changed my life. Even if it was the voice of God.
Thank you, Benya23, for the 5-month resub. Of course, we got some action finally heating up, but it's not going to be too much, though, because Botvinnik really can't contest this army, and he scans for creep, but also reveals that's some Ravagers, that's some Roaches. Now, for him, I don't think that's going to be any bit of a tizzy or panic. He was getting towards tanks, but he does throw down a second factory, and it almost feels like in response to this.
Perhaps. Liberators use siege up and are going to be a little helpful as they're...
No, they're not.
No, they're not even helpful. Well, I was going to say that they're not being targeted, but you could just go around the Liberators.
Yeah, they don't even threaten any positional change to
right?
Guru.
But they're like the point is they're not being target fired roofing, so it's all good. Like they're not being shot at, so it's fine.
Medevacs, please pick up these SCVs. Please save them. Unfortunately, Botvinnik is starting to die out. And while we saw this really amazing Terran player in Game 1, he's looking all flippy-floppy here in Game 2, and I don't know what changed. I mean, the Liberators, again, funny that you're right. They're not being targeted by the Corrosive Biles. But that means that the Corrosive Biles are free to target the tanks and the Marines. So, again, even if they were just soaking damage, they would still serve a purpose. Guru's starting to push in through a choke, though, a little bit dangerous. If there's a little bit more bio, that would have wrecked him. However, there's not, and it's not, and this is getting a little bit dicey. Liberator's still not contributing. We do have a drop on the other side of the map, but there's no way this does the damage it needs to.
Yeah, 31 SCVs. I mean, he's starting to rack up a couple of drone kills, but it's getting cleaned up, inevitably, so... This might not be. Guru does have another tank to deal with, but it's not sieged up, so it could be focus fired before he picks it up. Oh, it is.
Other tank, same problem, same situation, but GG's just going to get called instead. Cutting his losses, Guru will fall down take the game as Botvinnik falls down in game number 2. GG. This does tie up the series 1-1, though, and we're going to get to see what the ace match looks like. And while earlier I messed this up, now you guys can use that ace match emote. Accurately, no less. We're going to head up into a 2-minute ad break, though. Nothing long. We'll see you guys in a couple minutes as we get to game number 3 of the first semifinals soon. So this is kind of like a holy shit, can you believe it type thing. But before we get into the ace match here, guys, we have a brand new prize pool total. $500. Helle_TCM donates and says, just to make it an even 500, keep up the good works in these cups. So again, takes the cake. And here's our donator list so far. So thank you guys all for contributing to make this prize pool as awesome and as big as it is. Once again, we're doing this entirely for the players. $500 for a weekly is not just respectable, but damn impressive. Mm-hmm. So shout out to Matcherino for making all this possible. But we're getting into game number 3 in the bottom left. He is going to be the yellow Terran player, My Insanity's Botvinnik.
In the top right, as the green Zerg, he is Guru. Team esports?
True esports.
True esports, yeah.
Not fake esports. Not lying esports.
True esports.
Alright, I'm going to have to be a scumbag and mute myself here for just a minute. That's not I do apologies. So I'm here observing. I just can't speak for about a moment.
Alrighty then. Very specific. So, game number 3, ace match. Botvinnik looked great in game number 1. Didn't look great in game number 2. I do wonder if that was a composition thing. I'm calling game number 1 Dusk Towers. Guru did this kind of like roaches first, and then he wanted to go into a spire, and he did lose out a lot to the initial 2 drops. So I think that was the start of him losing the game. But if Guru says, well, Roach Ravager worked out really well, let's do it again, he might find a more difficult time on Orbital Shipyard, where that natural can't really be broken. The third base still can, but usually only through one position at the fronts. And Botvinnik, one of the major mistakes he made in that last game was, well, not having enough tanks initially. He only had like 1 or 2. Liberators being in the wrong spots, even if they did survive everything, they weren't helping. And just in general didn't seem well prepared for the push. I think he'll be more on top of it. The third hatchery goes down, something that is expected. Not a lot of 2-base all-ins anymore for Zerg. The Nidus all-in used to be so good, and then, well, people figured it out. And maybe if you feel that the player's not going to go for Reapers, you can go for like 2-base Baneling. We've seen a couple of Zergs do that, and it's exciting, but Botvinnik's gone for Reapers every time. Actually, speaking of Reapers, it's Orbital Shipyard, and we didn't have him actually go for Reapers, just a single one. Usually at least the 2 racks opener can apply enough pressure to warrant it, and provide enough defense to like not die because it doesn't work out. But this goes very standard here. Once it can go into Hellions as well, which have also been hit or miss. Hit in the first game, miss in the second game. I guess he just likes the control they can give if your opponent doesn't go for roaches initially. I keep expecting to add on like a armory to go for like a Hellbats attack with them too, but that's something that hasn't happened yet. Maybe this 3rd time since Guru's seen no Hellbats, he might be underprepared, and that's when you really get him for it. That's up to Botvinnik. And Overlord is kind of dipping in. It just sees the starport timing and is like, okay, I know what's up. Also sees that it's producing without a tech lab, so it knows it's going to be most likely a Liberator, although it could have been, a Viking. Liberator has been Botvinnik's jam. And he does have a Roach one already on the way. Hellions roast and toast some Lings. Not a big deal. Marine wants to get the Overlord, but it can't. Bye-bye, Overlord. We do have Liberator almost done. Factory already pulled off. So with only 4 Hellions, typically means they really are going to try and suicide in and just kill them as much as they want. Or can, rather. But there's going to be roaches in a couple of seconds, so his timing is going down and down and down. There are drones at the third, however, and they look kind of juicy.
So I'm back. And thank you, by the way, for covering me there for the moment. I was going to say, though, I thought for sure this was going to be Banshees over the Liberators. Like, it's just Hellion Banshees really been coming back into fashion in a big way, but seeing that stim come up, not a bad choice, but just less conventional, I suppose you could say. Now for Guru, there are roaches, and that's going to make these Hellions kind of useless.
Yeah, that's the timing was just going smaller and smaller, and well, now with the roaches out, if they do sacrifice themselves, like sure they can get a couple of drones, but not as many as before. And they might just be more useful coming with the main push as Hellbats. We'll see. Third base is finishing up here for Botvinnik and going for the double engineering base, setting up for that macro. Guru, though, has been kind of happily macroing. I mean, sure, he got some defensive roaches, which cut into a little bit of his droning, but he hasn't been really harassed a lot.
I really like that he only went for 3, though, specifically. Those 3 will help ward off the Hellions, but also can be turned into Ravagers if he needed it for the Liberators. So he did play this as absolutely cost-effectively as necessary, and not going for too much, not overreacting by any means. Now, of course, the Liberator is coming up on the front lines, so it's actually going to fall back. Never mind. I was going to try and circle it around and maybe get some harassing.
Well, that Spire is not going to be facing a lot of contention. Oh, no, he is going to go for the drops again. I guess this is what he did on Dusk Towers, because it seemed like a few less than 16 Marines. So just picking up what he has and going for it. This could have brought like a Hellion, why not? You have the room for it, but it's hitting right before that Spire finishes. It should be able to unload before the mutas are out, and Guru had to be a little bit careful, because it's only going to be, 4 mutas, like not even, damn.
Yeah, this is... Well, the Queens actually start getting top one of the Medvacs right away, and that's nice, but the Marines will take care of these Queens very quickly, so Botvinnik is going to actually get a double kill. Oh my god, that looks super cool. Hellions rush into the third base, and this goes from like a one-pronged attack to a triple-pronged attack. Liberator sets up in the main at the same time, and 20 drones go down already through this. For Botvinnik, an absolutely excellent attack.
Yeah. Well, also the Medevac that had the Marines in it, but still worth the attack for sure. 22 drones is quite a lot. He scans the main, too, and wonders what's going on. Is it just roaches or what? And sees the Spire, so that's pretty important. Last game, he was not quite caught off guard, but he wasn't prepared for, like, a full Roach Ravager force to attack, and he didn't want that to happen again. Seeing the Spire is also, of course, going to let him go ahead and make missile turrets, so he doesn't have to take damage from what it might now be 7 mutas at once, but Guru is holding off on building them. Either he's waiting for the mineral count to be higher because he just made a round of drones, or he might change his mind because it was scouted. I mean, he's going for an attack with a lot of roaches.
Yeah.
But that says 1-1 and combat shields are finishing up, and 2 tanks already prepared.
The tanks should be able to hold this. I mean, there's a little bit of awkward micro last game.
Yeah.
Botvinnik, I don't know what it was, but game 2, he just felt like he fell apart. Like, he was just all over the place, like his mouse stopped working in the middle of it or something. It wasn't the Botvinnik we were watching in game 1, that's for certain. Game 3 here, this is right back to that Botvinnik I was expecting to see a little bit more of. And as long as he doesn't mess up his tank control, there's no way he dies to roaches. But the threat now starts becoming a little bit about these mutas. He doesn't exactly have the best anti-air. He's got a couple turrets to deter them from really just diving in, but there's no swarm of Liberators. There's not a bunch of Marines with, excess to just chill around the base.
Yeah. Those Liberators are really what takes care of the mutas to be those harassment mutas. So that would be the ideal, but the missile turret should cover him long enough to get the reinforcements back there. Guru is obviously going entirely into Mutaling Bling, so I guess this is just the style he's preferring. He gets the +1 Carapace, goes for the roaches, but then swaps over. I'm guessing it catches 1 or 2 Terrans off guard, because it's kind of gone past that point in the beginning of Legacy of the Void release, where everyone was transitioning to everything, and Sulky was... roaches to mutas to roaches, mutas to roaches, roaches to ultras. Like, there were so many options, and it's kind of, like, settled down. So I'm guessing this surprises a couple of people. And it could have surprised Botvinnik if he didn't scan for that Spire specifically.
Well, double scans go down. So he sees what's going down on the other side of the map.
Huh. Yeah, I don't know about the double scan. Like, okay, he checked the 4th, see what that was going on. But I guess he really wanted to see if there was a hive, maybe, or an infestation pits.
Right, but I think he scouted the layer in the main, didn't he? Yeah, so he should have scanned the main, not the natural and the 4th if he was looking for hive tech.
Yeah, I don't know what the natural was for. I mean, it could have seen the Infestation Pit. It could have seen a Baneling Nest to confirm. It's a lot to see double scans, but
Ooh,
oh well.
well, there's some Marines nicely positioned in a couple of locations. This first one's going to be too scary for the Mutas to fight, but they will be able to make sure the drop doesn't go anywhere. Other hand, if they decide to go around this and go to the third, there's a clump of Marines that were rallied out here as well, so Botvinnik's kind of covered for the time being. Muta's not being too scary. But Muta's, once again, not really the emphasis of this game. It's going to come down heavily to the Banelings, to the Zerglings, to the Roaches, to whatever's on the ground.
Yeah. Botvinnik will have to deal with quite a few mutas. Like, this is no longer the 12 that's, like, okay, it's pretty perfect, really. It's getting up to 20.
We're getting a Thor. We're getting some Liberators. That Splash is certainly going to be there. But, yeah, this is getting a little bit alarming with the current count. Now, of course, even losing 1 or 2 to Marines is not something you want to do. But, again, picking off on Medevac is not a bad trade.
I feel like this is deja vu. And I don't think it's between these two players specifically, but I want to say Botvinnik was in it. I don't know about the Zerg. So many mutas. They might get top of the engineering bay. The Marines are running back though, and I think that should finish up.
Almost pins to them.
Oh, it was close. But there was a game where I'm pretty sure Botvinnik, like, I was worried he was being pinned back into 3 bases. Sure, he was trying to get a 4th, but he wasn't there yet. And with the amount of time Guru was buying and the amount of pressure his mutas can apply being in such high number, I thought the Zerg would just take over the map, which he's starting to. He's getting a 5th base. But where's the Infestation Pit? Where's the Hive? Guru has such a big bank. Eventually, Botvinnik's army should be just better than a lair-based Zerg army.
Botvinnik doesn't have tanks really well positioned for this. They're going to get a couple of shots. Muta's, of course, being scared up by the Liberators. And that's actually going to push him back. I thought for a second that Botvinnik was not going to be prepared for that attack, but I take that back. That was good.
Yeah. This is where it's really worrying. I feel like Guru could be expanding more on his position in this game, but just sticking on that lair tech, even though he's getting Corruptors, which is good to deal with the Liberators, it's actually more about that ground army being so big. We got a couple of Marauders going in there. Oh, these resources are ripped.
Thank God for the tanks, because all the Marines are running around trying to chase these mutas. Thor's being positioned. Some good predictive shots coming out here with the Marines to cover. It's not going to shred the mutas, but it does pick off like 3, 4. Not bad.
Yeah, no, it wasn't bad. It wasn't as devastating as I thought it was going to be, though.
This is
that drop, though. What are you doing?
It's going to die. That's what it's going to do. If not the Corruptors to the mutas that are chasing it. But finally, a base comes down, and once this becomes a planetary, it's a lot of peace of mind for any Terran player. Yeah. I think. By the way, I think that's my favorite thing about a planetary in the game. It's like when you're playing, it's just like it's that peace of mind. I don't really have to babysit this base.
Oh yeah, dumb orbital commands. So this is the point where I was worried about Guru. He could have maybe been up to a Hive already and almost on his way to Ultras, but instead he is just on that lair tech.
Oh, this tank's
but Botvinnik isn't prepared. He just starts splitting, but he's still on creep.
That's not many Banelings though, and the Marines just focus most of them down. Oh my God, that was such a big part. No, that's almost, I would argue that's borderline game-ending damage, because all those Banelings were necessary to stop the Marines. How do you stop the Marines now? It's 2-2, almost on 3-3. The Thor's a little bit scary, but the Mutas aren't ever going to be a threat. It's still the Banelings. We got the rally coming in the middle of the map. This is going to get caught by a couple things, but the Mutas... just fight the Mutas.
Very awkward.
Just fight the Mutas.
What's happening? He's, I guess, entirely focused on sieging his tanks in correct positions. Now he's really deep on a creep, so if there's more Banelings, this is just getting scarier and scarier. But
there are more Banelings.
There's not that many.
He scans them, though.
Oh, look at it, have to split. He did unsiege his tanks once again. Yep, Medevacs for a reason.
But Marauders are on the front lines. They soak some of the hits. The Thor takes the rest of them. Not many Banelings remain. And he did knock down a pretty important base for Guru. Now, Guru does, of course, have a base over here to the south, and it's not the end of the world. And he's scanning because he wants to make sure he doesn't miss anything before leaving. But I like the choice to disengage. And I really like the choice to collect his forces.
Yeah. Now, Guru, he still has a mineral bank, but that gas bank is a lot lower, so there's not going to be a transition to Hive despite getting the infestation pits. Oh, well, Tay's going to try. Problem is that, like, if he goes for the Hive, how many more Banelings can you get? If you go for, more Banelings, you can't go for a Hive. Like, there has to be choices to be made for Guru here.
Guru's gas is gone, and I think at this point we are going to see Botvinnik take it. I mean, there's just not a lot more he can do unless Botvinnik moves commands into those Banelings. Yeah, I mean, he's fighting on creep. Like, can we talk about that too? Majority of these fights have been on creep, and he's been taking great engagements.
Always looked like they should have gone better for Guru. I mean, his Banelings were rolling towards the Marines. I think the tank fire, the focus fire was there from Botvinnik, which really helped in that first engagement. But then the Mutas were also getting on top of the tanks. I thought all the tanks were going to die.
By the way, prior to this base going down up here, Guru was dominating the income wars pretty hardcore, but unfortunately, as we see, not enough larvae to really spend the minerals and no gas to make any really good units. So that income advantage already gone.
Yeah, I think Botvinnik's going to go to those finals and face a Protoss guaranteed. So I think he's favorable to win the entire first place prize, which is pretty big now.
Well, we'll see if it gets it. 3-3 for the Marines is done for this. The Bailey's are getting some pretty good connects for the first time this game, but that is still not enough. 3 times the supply advantage here for Botvinnik when it comes to Army. 32 for 100. GG gets called, and ladies and gentlemen, you will have your first finalist, Botvinnik.
Nice.